in the night, your heart fills with dread. Probably a murderer who wants you dead. It could be a ghost, a demon, or worse. Perhaps you're the victim of a witch's curse. It's hopeless, you're doomed. You'd call a priest if you could. You'd rather just listen to who? Sinisterhood.
Welcome to another edition of Freaky Friday, where we tell your odd but true stories. It's Friday, June 27th, and it's Freaky Friday 169.
Oh, shit.
I'm stupid. I'm so stupid.
I can't wait till we get to Freaky Friday 420. That's going to be quite a celebration. It's a ways off. But
We'll get there.
We'll get there eventually.
And Freaky Friday 666.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. That's like the ultimate.
We'll get there.
Then after that, I think we have to hit 1,000 for it to be a milestone of any sort.
The next exciting one, certainly. Mm-hmm. But thank you to everybody who sent in your stories today.
Always.
They run the gamut from horrifying all the way till mesmerizing and wondering what is above us in these skies.
Don't we always?
Don't we always? Well, if you're wondering what to do for fun, we've got something on demand you can do.
Yeah.
You can download that full moon energy, baby.
My mind was on Crime Wave at Sea because we were talking about the sea, and then but we have two fun things to do.
Well, right. It's like if you want to go and watch us perform live on a cruise ship, one of them do that. And if you want to just watch us on your time, date and time for you to choose, then you go to Patreon and download Full Moon Energy and watch it whenever you want. However you want. I'm not judging. If you're watching it, you project it in your backyard. Watch it while you take a swim. Cool. Anytime.
Oh,
yeah.
How fun. Yeah.
It's a little backyard
bathtub?
movie. Yeah.
Maybe bathroom in general, you know?
Sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
You got a long drive and you just listen to the audio of it. That's cool too.
That's always fun.
Head over to Patreon and get our Full Moon Energy show, the final performance of that occurred at the Texas Theater in the fall under the Hunter's full moon.
It was a great show, very fun to relive, and it's at the very fun price of $13 over on our Patreon right now for anybody. You don't have to be a member. Anybody can get it.
That's right. And if you do want to get it, and that is a vacation with you and I, come on over to Crime Wave at Sea. It's the ultimate true crime festival at sea, November 3rd through the 7th this year. It's already so close.
It's going to be here before we know it. We're leaving out of Fort Lauderdale. We get to hang out with Henry and Ed from last podcast Side Stories. We get to hang out with the ladies from True Crime Campfire. And then the guys from Scared to Death too. So it's going to be a hell of a good time.
It's going to be so much fun. We're going to do live podcast recordings, hanging out with folks. We'll be on the Lido deck. I heard that's where the fun happens. So go to crimewaveatsea.com/sinister, get your fan code, get the cabin, and meet us on the deck, on the Lido deck, baby.
The Lido deck. It's a true crime festival, but literally on a cruise ship. So how could you make a true crime festival better? Maybe spookier. Put it on a cruise ship.
Yeah, you're not going to get an underwater submersible object if you're just like at the, Hilton ballroom. Nah. And flying above your head and no Lido deck. So
and there's
I'm
no Lido deck. Yeah.
But we'll see you in the Bermuda Triangle. crimewaveatsea.com/sinister.
Yes.
What a time.
Can't wait. Well, in the meantime, we've got 6 stories here that are quite freaky.
Absolutely.
And true.
So true.
Well, I'm Christy.
I'm Heather.
And let's get freaky. This first one is from your daughter, Anonymous, who is having a rough time right now. Subject line is, I fear my ex may hurt me. In content warning, there are mentions of sexual assault and domestic violence. Hi, Christy and Heather. While I would normally gush how much I love the show, I feel an urgency to write this in. My ex and I broke up Christmas of 2023. It was the final breakup, but I agreed to stay friends. Of course, once he got a new girlfriend, he told me I was a waste of space and to never contact him again. A lot happened. Fight over a pet, him telling his girlfriend I wouldn't stop messaging him one night, her going off on me. Eventually, she reached out to me to leave him alone after he claimed it had to be me that vandalized his vehicle. I showed the receipts. I hadn't contacted him since he told me not to. It wasn't me blowing up his phone, etc. She asked me for my side of what happened between us. I told her the truth. He cheated, wouldn't commit, but I wasn't allowed to talk to other people. He was aggressive. He smacked me across the face once and would grab me hard and leave bruises. He threatened me. He'd tell me to wake him up, but when I did, he'd then say if I did it again, he'd unalive me, but expected me to continue to wake him in the mornings. And there were 2 times that he sexually assaulted me. Once when I couldn't get turned on, and once I was sick and had a reaction to meds that basically paralyzed me. She told me he had taken her past my house multiple times in case she wanted to fight me. Said he would park by the firehouse that was 3 houses down from me and sit there for hours. After months, she told me she woke up to him on top of her. I told her it's rape and it's not okay. This past week, she told me he smacked her while he was driving, so she called it off. He was also asking another girl for nudes, so not sure which was her breaking point. I was naive and believed the things we talked about were between 2 girls dealing with the same trauma from the same guy. Clearly, she was telling him everything. He knows I have people watching out to make sure he stays away from me. He knows when people ask what happened between us, I stopped sugarcoating it. The other week, he sent a text from her phone saying they saw me at my job because they went to the restaurant next to it and they knew what my new car looks like. She told me he stopped coming down my road, but he can see the part of my driveway where I park from the main road, and he'd slow down to see if I was there. My ex's girlfriend keeps telling me that my ex has said threatening things about me to her. He was going to set my house on fire. He'd bash my face in if he saw me. He would drive me off the road, which he supposedly tried doing to her the other night. He would drive my family members off the road. He even told her he was thinking of running my dad over the other week during a boot drive for our fire department. My family thinks it's all scare tactics, and he won't actually do anything. Every time I think it's done and over, my ex's girlfriend reaches out to me and I hear that he's planning on harming me or my family. She, of course, never records him talking like this, so it's all hearsay. That's why my family isn't totally convinced he's saying any of it. But when we were together, I heard him say how he wanted to burn his grandparents' house down, which we were also living in, because they did something he didn't like. Yes, he never acted on any of it, but who's to say he isn't finally going to snap and hurt someone? I'll be alone for 4 days and 3 nights starting Thursday, June 12th, and I begged my dad to finally let me put the cameras that I bought up. He rolled his eyes and mumbled, "There goes my privacy," but agreed. He asked if once the weekend was over, if I could take them down. My brother gave me 2 bats, one for the house and one for the car, and reminded me he's a phone call away. He can be to the house in 2 minutes. He also suggested maybe I should move to our mom's over an hour away, and my dad seemed to agree. I love my mom, but I hated living out there. The minimum wage is the federal minimum, and I don't think I could afford my bills if I had to leave my job. I already make barely enough to survive. And she's in the middle of the woods that sent me into a massive depression during my childhood. I got a text tonight from a number I didn't know, telling me I'm being a stalker and I'm obsessed with my ex and to stop having people watch him. I never asked people, my family did. He had his girlfriend, ex now I think, tell me he wants to meet with me and squash all of this. I said I don't ever intend on meeting with him alone, but I don't take supposed threats lightly. So if he's not actually saying any of it or driving by my house, then he should get the girlfriend in check. I blocked the random number and the girlfriend's number, but I'm sure those aren't their only numbers. I'm so tired of being afraid. I'm tired of wondering if he's going to show up to my house. I hate this, and it's putting me into a dark place that I worked very hard to pull myself out from. I'm tired of people that love me dismissing my genuine fears and wanting me to give up my feelings of safety for their privacy. Still makes no sense to me. The cameras are to watch the driveway, garage, and front door. I honestly don't expect this to make the air. I just needed to tell someone that I knew wouldn't tell him I was talking about it. If it does, I'll probably cry because it means someone cares. Thank you for taking the time to read, and I promise I will send a quick thing in saying I'm safe after the weekend is up. Update. Hi, ladies. Like I said, I figure I'd let you know that I'm safe. My family came home this morning, and my brother checked in on me a few times while I was alone. Only once over the weekend did I get a bit nervous. A car sat outside my house for several minutes at 10 at night on Friday. Of course, because my dad had said just to put the cameras on the inside of the windows, you couldn't see much. The next morning, I put the cameras outside in case the car came back. I got up to double check the front door was locked and went to call my brother when the person in the vehicle promptly flicked a cigarette out the window and drove off. It was not a vehicle I recognized, but it made my skin prickle the rest of the night when I'd hear a car go by. However, I'm safe, and as far as I know, my ex didn't try anything. Thank you for letting me vent. Love you, ladies.
My darling daughter, first of all, I'm so sorry you have to expend all this extra energy just to exist.
This whole thing sucks all the way around, including your family not wanting you to put cameras up. I don't really get this. If they're saying it's all talk, why are they also giving you bats and asking you to move an hour away into the middle of the woods, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I shouldn't have to move an hour away in the middle of the woods. So I would agree with that. The number one thing I would say is the immediacy, of protecting yourself, having permanently outside cameras that are calibrated to the correct time and date should you need them for anything. I would honestly bust out a spreadsheet or even just a spiral notebook from the dollar store and just write date, time, what happened, date, time, what happened, date, time, what happened, and just keep a log of unknown numbers, drive-bys, write the numbers down and just so that you have them and save all the communications, screenshots, voicemails, text, anything you get with timestamps. And meet me just to squash the beef.
No.
Hell motherfucking no.
Not even with somebody. I say don't ever get alone with him again or even in the same room if you can avoid it.
No, I would search whatever county you live in and search like lawyer referral or like legal clinic or something. Because I know at least in Dallas County they have for like $20, they'll match you up with an attorney to talk to you for 30 minutes. And then also, aside from that, legal aid near you or a domestic violence shelter might have referrals to family services, like Mosaic Family Services is one in DFW or something that, might be related to a nonprofit or something where you could sit down with an attorney in your jurisdiction who practices and lets you know what your rights are. If you could go ahead and file a police report, because sometimes you don't know what's illegal, right? And it's like an attorney in your jurisdiction will go, oh my gosh, that's more than 3 incidences. And you have screenshots. We can file for a keep away order right now. So I wish I knew. I mean, I'm glad we're not going to publish like where you live and whatnot, but no. Just so you know, it is not hopeless. Hopefully there are people in that area that handle this all the time. And my experience, family law attorneys that defend victims of domestic violence do it because they are bulldogs and they love it and they want to fight on your behalf. So I pray that you find somebody like that near you.
For sure. And I would caution being in contact with anyone that he's dating, even if they seem like they're also going through it. Who's to say that's even a real girlfriend, But
it's her and it's not just him texting you secretly saying it's her. Yeah. That's awful.
It sounds like you really want to commiserate and help other girls that he could abuse. You got to keep yourself safe first, though.
Absolutely. I mean, and I say you qualify 100% for services from the hotline.org. And you should be able to utilize that as a resource to, make a safety plan for yourself. We're happy to kind of give whatever our anecdotal advice is, but I think this is trending towards something that's out of our jurisdiction and to where you probably need to sit down with somebody in your area that can give you referrals to the different organizations that might be the most help. But I'm at least glad that you are put the cameras up, things like that. But make sure you take care of your heart, too, because this is a lot of stress on you.
Yeah. And I hope your parents, or maybe it's just your dad that's worried about his own privacy being violated, can separate those two things. That this isn't about him. It's about keeping you safe. Yeah. And like you said, where these things are pointed, it's not like they're inside the house where you're walking around and stuff. But there's also organizations that will come out and tell you, like, this is like your blind spots on your house, or you should have a camera here, like how to make your house safest. So that could be another resource to look into as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The hotline, you go to the hotline.org or text START to 88788. And folks that have used it have said, like, I credit this organization with saving my life because it gave me resources, things I didn't know. But I'm so sorry you're going through that because I was never physically stalked like in person. It was cyber, and that was insidious enough where I'm like, I feel like every website I have an account on, I can't get away from it. But I could still close my laptop and like go to the gym and like go to dinner with my friends. And when it's like this, it permeates every bit because it's the websites and also you can't get in your car and drive somewhere. So I'm so sorry you're going through that.
Yeah. I am very glad that you were safe while you were staying alone, and please keep us updated and continue staying safe.
Absolutely. Sinisterhood will be right back. Well, as the temperatures start rising, I get that familiar urge, that itch to refresh my closet, but I'm not fixing to waste money on pieces I'm only going to wear once for just one season. It's going to go out of style, but Quince changes all that. Their clothes are timeless, lightweight, and far more elevated than anything else at this price. It finally feels like my wardrobe matches the standards of what I would like to look like and present myself as.
Absolutely. Quince offers everyday luxury without the markup. Think 100% European linen shorts and dresses from just $30. Luxe swimwear, Italian leather platform sandals, and more. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middlemen, Quince delivers high-end quality at 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Plus, they only partner with factories that follow safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices using premium fabrics and finishes you can feel good about.
I have a picture Paris took of me in the vintage wash Tencel button front dress in midnight blue. And I was like, I'll look like a little model. Okay. And I feel like it's the type of dress that I can wear year after year because it's thick. It's like, first of all, it's breathable, but the fabric and the quality, like the stitching is good. It's solid. It doesn't feel like it's going to fray after a few washes or a few years, that I'm like, this is going to be like a vacation dress. Like when I'm trying to go on date nights and stuff, it is a staple of my closet that I feel like I can wear for a long time. And it looks cute.
Yeah, I saw it. You did. I have 2 of the Mongolian cashmere sweaters in wine and black, and they're thin enough that you could get away with it unless you live in Texas where it's 1,000 degrees right now, pretty much year round. Even now, I would still wear it. But the short sleeve navy modal V-neck tee, it's a material that is higher quality than just like a regular t-shirt. And it hangs nice because it's kind of like, it's not clingy and it just hangs where it should. It dresses up jeans or shorts nicely with some flats. And it's only $15 and it's so lightweight and breathable.
And you look so cute in it too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/creepy for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/creepy to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/creepy. Well, this next one's from Alex, and it's called "That Time One of My Predatory Teachers Got Beaten with a Metal Pipe," and other teacher stories. I was listening to the Freaky Friday story about the middle school teacher who was highly inappropriate and wasn't taken seriously until a nude photo was sent to an adult. And it prompted me to write down the gems, plural, what the fuck, from my middle school. Everyone who went to that middle school just kind of laughs about it now, because what else are we going to do? But it was seriously messed up, and I hope they've changed. I doubt it, though. I grew up in Mississippi, and because Mississippi has one of the worst public school systems in the country, and my parents both worked decent jobs, I went to a private K-12 school. I won't name the school because they're notoriously litigious, but it was well regarded as one of, if not the best, school in the state. If you know, you know. While I generally have mixed feelings about the school as a whole, my feelings about the middle school are much less mixed. It was terrible, full of unhinged and/or predatory adults. Here are a few of them. My brother had an English teacher who also happened to be the son of the highest religious figure in the state for the Christian sect our school conformed to. This teacher was also well known for openly flirting with the middle school girls he taught, but nothing was done because of who his dad was. I want to say he ended up in an actual physical altercation with some male students because of his behavior, and his, quote, contract was not renewed over the summer. My brother and I both had the same gym teacher, despite not being in middle school at the same time. This man was morbidly obese, not something I would even mention, except that he would make fun of students for not being able to do physical activities. He constantly harassed my brother for not being able to run when my brother had a medical condition that prevented him from running. So, just kind of a shitty human to begin with. I broke my nose in gym one day, though I didn't find out it was broken until years later. And while I was holding my nose over a trash can trying to staunch the bleeding, this man decided to corner me in the room I was in alone and proceeded to ask me whether or not I had started dating yet. I was in 6th grade and was generally not one to date, since I grew up with the majority of the people in my grade from kindergarten. Small school problems. He then told me in detail how to defend myself if I was ever in a situation where a man was trying to take advantage of me. What the fuck? He ended up being my homeroom co-teacher for a year, and there was a girl in my homeroom that, without fail, he would say looked nice in her jeans every casual Friday when we could wear clothes other than our uniforms. One year in gym, we were basically allowed to do what we wanted as long as we stayed moving. So a group of my friends and I would hang out and do random exercises while chatting. Without fail, this man would be no more than 10 feet from us and frequently commented on our form. Students hated him. Parents hated him. His brother was on our board of directors, so he was a fixture. I bet if I were to look up the school, he would still be there. One of my math teachers was a man who had taught at a bunch of international schools, most recently in Russia. He would often tell us stories about the kids he taught there and how he would run into them on his way home, and they would be huffing model airplane glue from plastic bags. Constantly kept the blinds closed to his classroom, and I guess we learned the reason why about halfway through the year. He had a weird obsession with one of the boys in our class, and he would go out of his way to call on him, even when he didn't have his hand up, even if he didn't ask a question. One day we came in, and he had his laptop plugged into the overhead projector. What was on his laptop? A school photo of the boy he obsessed over. We asked him why he had that photo up, and he just laughed it off. We didn't laugh it off. Unfortunately for him, he didn't have connections, so our complaints were actually taken mildly seriously, and his, quote, contract wasn't renewed over the summer after his first year of teaching at our school. The last creep I'll touch on in this email was my social studies teacher. He was fairly young and fairly attractive, so initially a lot of the girls had crushes on him. That was until we were around him more. The girls' uniforms in middle school had a white sailor top. For the most part, this shirt wasn't bad, except for when it rained, immediately see-through. And when we started hitting puberty, those shirts gaped like crazy, even with the tiniest of boobs. Unfortunately for me, I didn't have tiny boobs. By the end of middle school, I was already a C-cup, which meant my shirts were the worst. This teacher would walk around during class and sit on girls' desks, ostensibly checking their work. But he would only do this to the girls, and the way we would sit would both force us to move our work, or our hands would brush his ass, and ensured he could see whatever he wanted down our shirts unless we twisted wildly away. He would often ask girls to stay after class to discuss things, and it was understood that you never left a friend alone in his classroom. I was a particular favorite of his to target with this behavior because of said early development. He frequently fought with his wife and would come in hungover, looking like he slept in his office the night before. However, what made his contract not get renewed was none of that. Instead, his contract wasn't renewed because over the summer, he and his wife went drinking, got absolutely smashed, then tried to walk to a friend's house. Instead of his friend's house, though, he barged into a stranger's house. The stranger then proceeded to beat the shit out of him with a metal pipe. And because Mississippi is a stand your ground state, charges were filed against the teacher and not the other guy. The teacher's wife was a well-known news personality, though, so his exploits got splashed across all the news sites in the area, something my school didn't want to be associated with, naturally. Not, the fact that he was pretty desperately trying to groom multiple girls and was constantly looking down our shirts. I cannot begin to express how grateful I am that the girls in my grade looked out for each other like we did, so that his attempts were just that. To be clear, we were all pretty shitty middle schoolers and sucked like only middle schoolers can suck, and we were brutal to one another. But that was a line we would not allow crossed. I guess that's the good thing about growing up together. You can fuck with your own family, but you don't let anyone else fuck with them. Anyway, middle school is rough, and predators don't help things. And this wasn't even an exhaustive list of the terrible adults we had surrounding us in middle school. Like I said up top, I hope my school has changed, but I seriously doubt it. Never send your kids to literally any school in Mississippi. Better yet, just avoid the whole state, based on my experience. I hope this finds you well, and fuck shitty men. I wish them all the treatment my middle school social studies teacher received. Picture attached of my son, whom I try to instill morals in, but he's too stubborn to listen. He fully understands the concept of consent for himself, but his will is above all others for everyone else. But his fluffy little face is too cute to be monstrous, so I guess I'm just contributing to society's problems. At least I can keep this one leashed. Best, Alex, she, they.
Alex, look at your son's monstrous furry face.
I love it.
Good boy, good boy.
He does look like a good boy.
Oh my gosh, stuff like this is so, I mean, I hear what you say about middle school kids where it's like, as shitty as we would be to each other, yeah, if it was like, that substitute teacher's being weird to Janie or whatever, it's like, we don't even like Janie and Janie doesn't like us, but you don't fuck with Janie.
Yeah.
It's like
You're
a weird,
an outsider.
like, yeah, it's like but we take care of our own. This is horrible, just like start to finish. I'm hoping like days like this are left behind only because like hopefully complaints would be taken way more seriously, but
it's
connection.
It's real fucking shitty that teachers like this can stay on because they have connections in some way. And the thing about private schools is they can kind of do whatever the fuck they want.
A large amount of discretion in, hiring, firing policies, whatever. Certainly. Yeah. And it's like also unfortunate if you do not have, whatever you would consider adequate public schools and choose to like, okay, well, I have to put my kid in this private school. And then it's like, and it's kind of a loose free for all with teachers at this one, at least. So
then how bad is the public school if this is going on at the private school?
Yeah. Poor God, all those poor students. But I'm glad y'all kept an eye on each other than even like the worst offender. I mean, it's still a person sitting on your desk, putting their body against you, being too close to you, like any of that stuff. And that's just the age in middle school where you're like more aware of it. And you're like, that guy's like, he's got a werewolf face. Like he's like staring at me like, it's like different than just, okay, I'm making sure you kids aren't fighting each other. Like a teacher supervising looks very different than like a man leering.
It's also the age where you start, like you said, developing and becoming really self-aware and self-conscious. And it is already such a tumultuous time. And I think a lot of predators recognize that and take advantage of it, especially ones that are in a school setting and know more than the average adult would about the victims that they're, and the politics that go on in your life and stuff. Sitting on your desk in a way that like he knows that if you don't move your work, your hands are going to touch his ass and then you got to turn around, but then he can see down your shirt. These sailor tops also wore these in private school. Really? Also see-through when it rained. It was, white and thin.
No, they're like, you know what? We got to mass produce them because everybody's got to wear one. We can't use that much fabric.
We, at some point, maybe by middle school, pretty much all the girls wore like a white t-shirt or a tank underneath them. Yeah, because I mean, exactly that. You can see through it. And then you start wearing bras and you can see through to see the bra. And at the time, I was just like, I don't want other boys looking at me like that. I didn't really think about teachers, not to say that that wasn't a thing still back then. But, you're already having to worry about the boys your own age. You shouldn't have to be worrying about men.
And you're also just worrying about your own body changing.
Yes.
And for both genders too, because it sounds like the other teacher with the fucking projected picture of the kid on the screen.
That's crazy. And he laughs about it? Like, what are you? I want answers. This isn't, what is even the joke?
That's why I'm like, what is the joke? Or like, why are you asking a 6th grade girl, like, so are you dating yet? Are you like making out with boys?
6th grade? Am I a prude? Were people dating in 6th grade? I wasn't even thinking about that. Not that I would have been allowed to, even if I wanted to.
I was in a very committed relationship with Howie D and the Backstreet Boys in my mind in 6th grade, like obsessed, but like not like, I mean, I'm sure I had crushes on boys my own age, but I wasn't like holding hands or making out or going out or anything like that. I was like on my inflatable couch in my room.
You had an inflatable couch?
Fuck yes, I did. It was like a love seat. I often think, low-key, I'm just going to do it. I was like, man, I got to redo my office, she says, once a year. And I'm like, I'm going to put a fucking inflatable couch in here so I can come and sit on it and read. Like a velvet inflatable couch from Spencer's. Like,
damn.
That's what I was.
Oh, are you going back to the early 2000s, late 90s?
Turn my office into like a millennial haven.
Dude, let me know when.
Come over.
Yes, I will help you shop for decor.
A jelly chair. Yeah, we're going to have all of it, all the throwback shit. But yeah, like stuff like that was like being a little kid still. So if a teacher came up to me and was like, are you dating? I'd be like, I want it that way. The Backstreet Boys. Like, what are you talking about?
I remember having crushes.
Yeah.
It was definitely middle school, maybe 6th grade, 6th or 7th.
Like 7th grade, I started having more of a crush on a guys. Like, that specific boy.
And I remember guys would ask you to go with them. Did y'all use that language?
Like, go to
instead of like
to go out.
In the 50s, you would have said like go steady, but in the late 80s, early 90s, it was like, will you go with me? That's like was the terminology.
Go. Ours was like, do you want to be boyfriend girlfriend?
Oh, nice.
And there was a
you
lot
got
of,
to the point. See, why did we have coded language?
It was like, we're boyfriend girlfriend, or you'd say, do you like them or do you like them?
Oh,
it would be like somebody.
I like
and
them.
if you got caught liking somebody, people would be like, ooh, you like him.
Oh yeah. I remember being tormented by a friend. I mean, are they friends or are they frenemies? When when a little boy and I were going together for like a whole week.
She's going with him. She's going. No, because you're pretty popular. I did not go with anybody. I was the dorky best friend.
I wouldn't say I was that popular in middle school. I was probably in like the middle tier, if we have those.
There were ranks.
But definitely not in like the most popular crowd. But middle school is just like probably the hardest years that you go through.
Oh, I remember so many. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about like religion, that's whenever I first got to other kids that was like socially like going to churches and like I got like 7 Bibles as a gift for the first Christmas in 7th grade because I was like saying swear words and stuff and they would just be like and like I imagine they went home, talked to their parents and were like, you need to witness to her and you need to get her a Bible and she needs to see this teen study Bible.
Teen study. Oh,
I gotta find that thing because it would have like Q&As and I'm like, I want to read it now.
The Q&A with Jesus.
Yeah, nice. And it would be like alongside whatever book of the Bible and stuff. So all that to say, it becomes like very clicky and stuff. So adding gross teachers on top of the cliques is like unnecessary.
But even then, I'm glad the cliques stood up for each other and were like, nah, we can say shitty stuff to each other because we're peers, but y'all are crossing the line as adults.
May all of these people find horrible unemployment in their lives, or just as bad as they made these kids' lives.
I'm going to have to look up what school this is because I do not know. But if you're in Mississippi, it seems like if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Well, thank you, Alex. And thank you for blessing us with your furry son. He's so handsome.
Very cute.
Sinisterhood. We'll be right back.
Well, this next one's from Katie, and it's called Who the Hell Says That? Katie writes, obligatory, I love y'all in the show. I don't know if the story is exactly freaky, but it literally just happened and I need to get it out. And maybe someone can relate to the feeling of betrayal, blindsiding, professional impropriety. I don't know what the exact word to use is, but I left this ordeal crying from frustration. First of all, I would like to personally thank the both of you for how candidly you speak about mental health and therapy in general. When I was a teenager, my therapist betrayed my trust, and I've been hesitant to go back since. Eventually, I got to a point where I knew I needed to talk to someone, and you both encouraged me to get over my fear. That being said, I don't want the following story to discourage anyone from seeking help. My therapist was great until she wasn't. I sought out therapy through an online service and was lucky to immediately match with someone I really liked. She truly did help me get over a lot of trauma involving my mom and navigate how to deal with my emotions in healthy ways. The problem is my therapist made a few remarks that led me to believe she was a Trump supporter. I knew this was a red flag, but she had been so helpful, so I decided to continue seeing her and just avoid politics. It's hard to explain all your lore to a therapist, so I guess I was a victim of the sunk cost fallacy. Now, on to the incident. In our session today, I wanted to talk about my anxiety surrounding the Israel-Iran conflict and what it would mean if the United States got involved. I specifically said I wasn't trying to delve into politics. I wanted to discuss my anxiety and how to deal with it. I told her I was anxious about what a war means, if it would lead to World War III, and what if my husband, Ricky, were to be drafted, though I know this is very unlikely. She started going on a tirade about the Taliban beheading Americans on live TV, about how 5 years ago, that guy, George Foreman, her words, not mine, and how there was rioting and looting and the military had to be called in, and now similar things are happening in LA, but the governor is welcoming it. About how immigrants kill people every day. About how that guy was deported to El Salvador and people are mad that he didn't get his due process. About how an immigrant did the Bourbon Street massacre on New Year's. Not true, and I corrected her. The final straw was when she said, I'd be much more worried about Ricky going outside and getting shot down by an immigrant. I mostly sat quiet during this rant, unsure of what to say. I did interject when she said something particularly egregious. I ended the meeting by saying I needed to go eat dinner. She asked if I would be returning next week. I said, no, I don't think so. Our political views are too different, and you also just said some very inappropriate things. She thanked me for our time together thus far and wished me well. I left crying and feeling incredibly frustrated, not only by her improper tirade, but also that there are really people who feel this way, and mostly how a person that I've divulged my deepest secrets to could actually say the words, I'd be more worried about your husband getting shot down by an immigrant. I knew she was right-leaning, but the depth of it was eye-opening. I am grateful for the emotional growth she helped me with, but I will not be seeing her again. I'm in the market for a new therapist. I'm not really sure how to end this, so I guess I'll just say therapy is a wonderful tool, but therapists are still people too, with their own opinions. Try to find one you mostly align with, so you don't wind up fidgeting uncomfortably through a weird racist rant. Thanks for reading, and again, I truly do want to thank the both of you for encouraging your listeners to seek help, even if this endeavor ended weirdly.
Holy shit, Katie. First of all,
Yowzers.
I'm so sorry that happened. I'm not a therapist. I'm not an expert, but it's my understanding that therapists, anybody licensed, is held to professional standards.
Yeah, this is way crossing the line and shit you don't say in any professional setting, I would think, or just at all, but specifically not to a client you're treating for therapy.
No, I don't know that. I mean, I'm sure you can like gently explore the client's worldview, but I don't think you can inject your own views such to the point that you derail or override your client's entire agenda. This is about anxiety, not literally conspiracy theories. Also, she's stupid, or at best case scenario, she's stupid and she thinks that former athlete / grill entrepreneur George Foreman was mowed down, or she's purposefully racist and pretending that she doesn't remember his name because she's a racist bitch. Yes, she probably meant George Floyd and she said George Foreman. So not to be vengeful, but to protect other clients, I would urge you to file a complaint. 100%. with the platform that you found her with, and also find her license. And literally, you've written it out here. It's easy. Just copy and paste this, take out the part about, you said, I love you ladies. Go, I really love the podcast Sinisterhood. I'm just kidding. We don't need listeners, but they're welcome to listen. But as far as you kind of already have ticked the boxes to pre-write your complaint. But I think the discriminatory, unfair discriminatory comments about getting shot down by an immigrant is so harmful. And arguably, I would think you probably can't, as a therapist, absent cause, suddenly terminate therapy for your client. There are probably rules. And to me, even though Katie chose to leave at the end of it, I would argue that this is constructive abandonment, that the therapist, by so egregiously violating rules, has then violated another rule. She violated rules so much that she forced you to have to terminate when you otherwise said she was actually pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
But I think you have a right to complain to the licensing board, to whatever the platform is. And also go on her website if she's a member of any thing, whatever, because this isn't just, she has different feelings. She's legally allowed to have those feelings.
Yeah.
But acting on them, in my opinion, I think she's violated. I'm not, we got experts, therapists and y'all that listen. So let us know.
I don't know the actual laws, but ethically, this violates all sorts of therapist practices. You can't just wedge in your own racist, insane beliefs. Not only were y'all not even fucking talking about that, she just brings it up. But if she's doing this with you, she's obviously going to do it with other people if she hasn't already. And it's not one of those things we should just be oh, well, that was weird. This is harmful. And this is how this kind of misinformation and toxic information spreads, because your therapist, who you trust and pay to talk to about your feelings, is now telling you these things. And clearly you are a very smart person and are absolutely not. Other people that are vulnerable and in vulnerable situations might not be able to have the strength to do that, and might start getting swayed by someone like this.
Right. And believe it, or might not, have that wherewithal to actually make the complaint. Whereas if you did, and then, maybe somebody else did, that just creating a paper trail. So a person like this either could curtail their behavior and not continue to harm the public, or get fucking their license taken away, because they do not need to be, if you can't control your own personal beliefs, at no point have I ever felt like my therapist was this is how you should believe. Sometimes I'll be thus and such makes me stressed. And she'll be oh, well, I understand it this way. Why does this make you feel stressed? And I'm but she'll often go, but you're a lawyer, so you kind of understand this better. Am I misunderstanding? And then we can have, I won't say a political debate, but we discuss the facts, what's going on. And then it's back to, so is that kind of what's making you feel like you don't have control over it? That's she's plumbing my worldview to get back to the question of my feelings, to then give me therapeutic support. She's not well, I disagree and you're a stupid idiot because the immigrants are going to, it's what? No. First of all, I would report her too.
Yeah.
But she would never.
1,000%.
But no, I think, if you need to take some time because you feel nervous, but I think this is in my opinion, textbook reportable, conduct.
Yeah, absolutely. If you haven't already, definitely, people should be reported and this doesn't just apply to therapy. If you're in any type of workplace where you there's a power imbalance or any, services you're seeking and someone starts this shit, like I said, don't put up with shit anymore. Just start reporting people, because people don't report people. And then they get to just continue this because everyone's I don't want to deal with that, Karen over there who's going off on rants. Well, somebody's got to. And Katie, you've got the story, and I bet you're not the only one.
Yeah, certainly. So, thank you for feeling comfortable to reach out.
Yeah, definitely.
To us, because she messed up. This woman created an unsafe environment. I think she broke your trust. That will be something that you will now have to work on a new therapist, work with your new therapist. But it's a great opening session to be well, let me tell you why I'm here. But no, I don't think
therapist that betrayed her.
Right. And I think, just letting the board deal with it. Like, they're not going to be like, we need you to testify against this woman. Like, it's like attorney grievances where if they they might write her a letter that's like, we find that you're in trouble. And so it's a private reprimand letter, but at least it's documented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Goddamn. Good luck.
You are right. Explaining your lore to a new therapist is a huge bitch. And
dude, it sucks.
That's the reason that, I get it, that you might want to stay with someone that already knows everything. But this would have certainly been a deal breaker for me. And so I think you made the right move. I hope you find another one that you really mesh well with. And
yes,
the good thing is if you do open with this type of story, you kind of immediately let them know, like, I ain't about that, by the way.
Yes. And I'll report you, by the way, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think it's something, and even, I struggled with it. I didn't know whether to or whatever, if you don't want to come across as a problem. But I think making it clear, like, my therapy was literally derailed by this. I'm happy to have a conversation about stuff. But, like, in the middle of it, to go on a rant and say those, like, horrible racist things, like, nah, I hope that woman gets
dude.
her license taken away. But I'm glad you got some good therapy before it all happened. I mean, at least it wasn't a waste.
No, and it's like a lot of people that probably we see in a doctor way, like they don't have the same political ideologies as us. I don't know because we don't discuss that shit because it's not something that needs to get brought up. So,
right.
This lady, like, I'm almost glad she showed her ass because I feel like if your views are this messed up, it's gonna start bleeding into what you say to your clients.
And probably how you treat different various types of clients and stuff like that. And it's like, not that you would get better after this, but if you continue on, it's like, well, now I know you feel like that and that you see human beings that way. And it's like, I don't know if I can respect your advice anymore. But
hell no.
I will say maybe this is the step to getting your perfect therapist that, like Christy said, it's because this lady showed her ass now so you can bounce. I'm on my third therapist, and I really do feel like this is like the final, like not final, but like I like really was who I needed when I needed her, and so I was glad.
That's awesome.
I'm glad Linda retired. I hope she's happy in her retirement.
I love my therapist, Tara, and I know she's progressive because we talk about that, and it's a very progressive, all women practice. But that's where pretty much, we don't talk about, like, I don't know about her personal life and shit like that.
From just a purely financial perspective, I'm like, I am paying you to be here to talk about me. I don't want to hear you go on no. I'm not paying to read your Facebook posts.
No, you boomer. What is this even about? My God.
Right, please. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. well, thank you, Katie.
That is upsetting because a therapist is someone especially when you've been seeing them, you really do feel like you have a bond and connection with. And I don't think you're wrong for saying betrayal, blindsided, professional impropriety. I would say all those things fit.
100%. 100%. Yeah. And crying afterwards too. I mean, you're mourning the loss of a relationship you thought you had. So I think you're completely within your rights. Well, here's to you I actually have a glass. Here's to you finding the next best therapist. Cheers to Katie.
Cheers to Katie.
Sinisterhood will be right back. Well, this next one is from Portia, and the subject line is bicycling accident. Hey, ladies, y'all read my story on the White Rock Creek Trail and my 2 degrees of separation from the machete murder. Your episode on fear and your repeated mentions of flight, fight, freeze made me think of the bicycling accident I had in 2020. When the lockdown happened, I had been in my apartment for just 2.5 months. I'd been going for walks before the pandemic on Katy Trail, but when COVID started, I found it too crowded. So I searched around for another trail to walk on. That's how I found the White Rock Creek Trail. At some point during lockdown, I started taking my bicycle to this place and was going roughly 10 miles each time. In late July 2020, I drove to the Valley View Park to go on my regular bike ride. The beginning of the ride takes me under 6:35. When I got to this part, there was someone walking, so I moved over toward the middle of the concrete path to pass her. At this point, there was a guy on a motorized skateboard coming toward us. He was kind of in the middle, taking up all the room. I should note the concrete path is particularly wide in this section under 635. So I went to my right enough to give the person walking space, but to also allow this guy to go to his right and pass me. But instead, he went to his left. We did this little dance of me going to my right, then left, then right, and him going left, right, left. At this point, I was freaking out. All the curse words were going through my head. Eventually, I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm going to hit this guy. The next thing I remember was coming to, and I was on the ground on my back. The lady I was trying to pass and the guy that was coming towards us were both standing over me. They helped me up. The lady asked if I wanted her to call 911 and held up her phone in selfie mode so I could see my face. I had blood all over my face. It was just from a small cut on the bridge of my nose, but did you know that cuts on your face bleed a lot? I hesitated because I didn't want to pay to be transported to the hospital. Fuck America's healthcare system. The guy responded in my silence with something like, oh, she'll be fine. It probably looks worse than it is. The lady snapped back with, I wasn't asking you, sir. Eventually I said no, and the lady continued on. Around this time, I got a good look at my bike, and the front wheel was all bent out of shape, and the gear shifts were messed up. I also managed to get an actual selfie of me during all this. The guy was at least decent enough to help me back to my car, mentioned that he thought maybe his brother had a spare bike wheel, and offered up his number if I needed any help with repairing my bike. I never took him up on it. Side rant, I honestly kind of blame him for the accident. He was a white dude with an American accent. We walk and drive on the right side here. He should have known better. Maybe he was freaking out a little bit, so I can give him a little bit of grace, but still, he also never really apologized. So I hadn't mentioned it yet, but I was wearing a helmet. I had tried to call my mom when I got to my car, but no answer. So I texted her that I had been in an accident. I unintentionally left off that it was a bike accident. Oops. After texting my mom, I started my drive home. I probably shouldn't have driven right away, but I just wanted to get home. My mom did call me back shortly after I started the drive and was rightfully freaked out because she thought I had been in a car accident. I kept her on the line until I got home and kept her and my best friend updated all evening. I let them know when I went to sleep and when I woke up. They both said they would call 911 if they didn't hear from me the next day. I don't blame them. The next morning, I went to urgent care. I got a tetanus shot because I didn't remember the last time I had one. I do now. The doctor felt around my eye because it was bruised pretty badly and said nothing felt broken, but they couldn't take an x-ray or anything. Understandable. She gave me a list of concussion symptoms to watch out for and told me to go to the ER if anything significant popped up. But she said usually the first 24 hours were the most vital. If I was feeling okay after that, I was probably going to be okay. I had a black eye and a bruise on my leg. My back, sternum, and collarbone were all sore. I had a headache for a few days, but no other symptoms of a concussion. Also, the night before this bicycling accident, I had a dream I had been in a car accident. Sometime in the week after my accident, I had an appointment with my therapist on Zoom, and he immediately noticed my black eye. I told him everything I mentioned here, and in particular, I told him how I immediately blacked out after I realized I was going to hit the guy on the motorized skateboard. He said that was a common response to impending trauma. It's part of the whole fight, flight, freeze response. It was like my brain saw what was coming and peaced out. It didn't want to be around for the main event. I also want to piggyback off a Freaky Friday story about bike riders and say I am a big advocate for wearing helmets. You would think it would be common sense to wear a helmet nowadays, but you'd be surprised. I honestly think my injuries could have been a lot worse if I hadn't been wearing one. I've seen firsthand and heard secondhand the things that can happen to people in bike accidents. My dad was in one. He collided with a dog that was chasing him on a back road in East Texas and had to be airlifted to a hospital. He wasn't wearing a helmet either. He's okay now, but he had broken his collarbone, shattered his shoulder, and had to have a skin graft on his head. He's had bicycling buddies that were in bad accidents, sometimes from people in cars not paying attention or just being rude/aggressive. When I finally did get back on my own bike after getting it fixed, I remember going bike riding the following Easter weekend. And when I was going under 635, it's the only place cars are, and a guy, not paying attention, bumped into the back wheel of my bike with his car. There wasn't any force hardly behind it, so nothing happened, but it did freak me out. I've attached some pictures of the immediate aftermath and the bruises I had.
Oh my goodness gracious, Portia, your poor face. This is... You bike ride. You've recently, and for those that aren't in the area, 635 is a major highway.
Major.
And very, very busy. So to even like be riding a bike around that area, very stressful. I would not have the confidence. Portia, you seem like a seasoned bike rider. But everybody's got to be fucking doing their thing. And you know, like, you know, to pass on the left, like all, you know, and man.
I have my ding ding bell and that thing on White Rock, because I mostly ride in a loop around White Rock because there's no cars. I don't go into the street, and I know it's just, but that also means like hoverboards, scooters, kids on bicycles with training wheels, parents with like teenagers walking 5 abreast. Like there's
people riding super fast.
Yes, luckily I'm always like, if you're one of the fast people, go on the street, because like the ones in the like Lance Armstrong outfits, they stay mostly on the street, but in some places they come in and it's like phew, 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 like weaving in and out. I'm like, dude, if you're trying to go 25, you cannot go 25 on where people are walking. But even though it's walking speed, and I go 6 miles an hour, maybe. I mean, I'm really not. I call it I'm an easy rider. There's times when I'm just like,
she's an easy rider. She takes her bike and barely moves.
Truly, I moved just enough not to tump to the side. But I'm just like slow riding. Got my right ear. I have an audiobook, just quiet. But I have to ding ding on my little bell on my front handlebars, because straight up people just don't pay attention. People will be walking and texting, much less driving and texting. So helmets, absolutely always wear a helmet. And what the fuck is that guy's problem? Here's the deal though, running or biking, if someone is going the wrong way, I continue in that lane. Like I play chicken.
You're like, you can move. I got a bike. You're on a skateboard. Who's winning this?
I'm not blacking out because I'm like, it's like, if y'all hear there's a bike accident, somebody's going to have my tire tracks on their face because I'm not stopping. No, but it's like one thing if it's like, they're not paying attention, or it's like, no, I mean, if it's like a little kid or something, that's fine. I'll just ding them. But if it's like teenagers being assholes walking the wrong way, I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
You're about to get knocked the fuck down.
And I'm a huge dork with a giant basket in my big blue helmet. I'm just like, don't mess with me. Man, Portia, I'm so sorry though. Thank God I haven't fallen or tumped like this. This is such a nightmare.
Yeah, your poor face and the bruises look so scary. And face cuts do bleed so much. So even if it's a tiny cut, it seems like the end of the world. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
There's a lot I don't love about this. But one thing is, I love that the woman stopped and was like helping. But then I don't love that she left and left you with the guy that you collided with. And then he walked you to your car.
She's like, I hope you don't have a concussion or anything. I'm going to keep going though.
Yeah. Also,
but I do like that she's like, I wasn't asking you, sir.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. As a woman, do we want another woman who is, has blood dripping down her face to like a man that just caused this to walk her back to her car?
Right. Yeah. I would have the victim would have to be like, seriously, please leave me. And I would be like, okay, you said to leave. But otherwise, I mean, I guess the guy maybe felt bad and was trying to be cool, but I think my brother's got an old bike wheel he can give you is not the solution. Like, I'd be like, you need to give me $300 to fix this bike right now.
For sure.
And for pain and suffering too.
Yeah. Him saying it's probably worse than it is gives, I don't want to be held accountable for this.
He's like, really? She just fell on her own. I wasn't even nearby. It's like, fuck you. It was 100%
your fault. We all saw it, sir.
We all saw it. But having that dream the night before, but also I didn't know that you could straight up just black out if something traumatic was happening.
I don't remember like if a big fight were to happen with somebody or something. I usually don't remember it because I disassociate as a trauma response too.
Like, I'll be like, nobody's home.
I do not remember all the things that were said because literally my brain just shuts off.
It's just like, floating away. Well, it protects itself. It's a magical computer that's like, nope, I'm going automatic into this mode. And you're like, oh, okay. I didn't decide that, but all right. Do your thing, brain.
Yeah. Wild too when you wake up and strangers is just standing over you. The only time that happened to me was at the Ben Harper concert when I got too high and passed out, and then a guy with a white guy with dreads, I woke up and was standing over me like, are you okay? And I was like, what? Yes, like, I don't know.
Are you okay?
Are you okay, sir?
Are you okay? When it happened at the hospital, I was like, it really is just like, almost feel like you got sucked out of your body and then put back in. It's crazy. Ugh, I hated it.
That was the night I learned I can't smoke weed and watch a bunch of lasers in the dark.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's just overstimulation. Yeah, like, too much. My brain was like, nope, we can't do this.
It's like this. You're coming at something. It's like, shut it down. God damn. Well, thank you, Portia.
Yes, thank you.
Sinisterhood. We'll be right back. Well, this next one's from Jay, and the subject line is, did Charlie do it? Hey, ladies. I hope you're having the bestest week ever. You two are absolute queens and my favorite podcast. I wanted to share this story before, when everyone was sharing their lost jewelry stories, but time escaped me. This is in the same vein, but has a spooky twist. In my late 20s, I lived in an apartment and had a ghost attach himself to me there. It started when I would drift off to sleep every night and hear voices. The second I came back from the edge of unconsciousness, the voices would disappear. Other little weird things would happen. Items moved around, we'd find little flowers or gifts in the house, and various other things I could not explain. For reference, I'm a bit of a neat freak, so I notice when things are moved slightly. I became friends with the gal who introduced me to Wiccan while living there. One of the first times she came over, she crossed the threshold and froze. She said, "You're not alone here." She told me that I was not in any harm's way, but there was a ghost attached to me or the apartment. She told me she got the name Charlie. For a long time, Charlie and I lived in tandem. I'd come home and tell Charlie, "Hello, friend," and tell him about my day. If I had a big day at work the next day, I would politely ask Charlie not to wake me up with the voices, and I would fade quietly off to sleep. And of course, if I would bring a date home, I would politely ask Charlie not to watch, which I'd like to believe he always respected. Although the pranks increased over time, more and more items would go missing or get moved, but eventually be found again. I think also Charlie would come with me when I would leave, as the pranks did not just happen at the apartment. One day, when I went to visit my mom, I had packed up my jewelry in a travel box, put that in a travel bag inside another packing cube inside my suitcase. The next day, as I was unpacking, I got to my jewelry box. I had packed the pearl and diamond earrings an ex had given me, but when I opened the jewelry box, the pearl from one of the earrings was gone. The pearl is normally screwed on and glued into the rest of the earring, and when I packed it, the pearl was definitely there. I was dumbfounded. I searched the guest bedroom for hours. Then I searched the rest of the house over the next week. I never found the pearl that weekend. Leaving, I knew I would probably never find that pearl. My mom's partner was really particular and vacuumed every day. I asked him to look for it, but I knew if he didn't find it in a couple days, it would be lost forever to his frantic vacuuming. When I got home, I told Charlie about it and how sad I was. I asked if it was him, and if so, would he please return it? I would ask my mom every couple days if she found it, but she never did. I went back to visit a few times and unsuccessfully searched. So I accepted I would probably never find it. About 6 months later, my friend had done some work with Charlie to help him move on. I was moving soon, and I hated the thought of him being left there alone again. At least we had found a way to cohabitate. It was the last time I went home before the move. When I walked into the guest room, the pearl was sitting on the bedspread, perfectly placed on the edge for someone to see. My mouth dropped open. I ran to ask my mom and her boyfriend if they found it. I was met with just as shocked faces. They had never seen it, and my mom had washed the bedding that day before I had arrived. I can't say for sure, but I think Charlie returned it to me since he knew we were trying to help him. When I moved, Charlie did not follow. I never had the weird half dreams of the voices in my house. The pranks stopped, and any sign of Charlie was gone, except for my pearl. I never lost that again over the past 10 years. I still think about Charlie from time to time and hope he got to move on from whatever was keeping him here. Thanks again, ladies, for all you do. And Charlie, if you're still out there, hello, friend.
Hello, Charlie.
Hello, Charlie.
If you're out there, write in, because if you're a ghost, I bet you got a shit ton of Freaky Friday stories.
Share your odd but true tales. You don't have to be alive to share your odd but true tales.
No, you just have to be able to type, I guess, or voice to text.
Oh, Charlie's a little sentimental one, giving it back at the last minute before you were gone.
Oh, these jewelry things and the finding things years later are in the weirdest spots. I don't really have explanations. I mean, sometimes I'm like, well, maybe people just missed it. But like, if your mom just watched the bedding, unless it was in the bed, I mean, even then, like if it was in the bedding, you wash it, you make the bed, the pearl wouldn't be sitting on the very edge after you make it. You know?
Here you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. This makes me think of when the woman moved and then the husband was like, is this your earring in my toolbox in the garage? You're like, yeah, that's my earring. And I have the other one in my jewelry box.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. It's like, that's not the pearl that fell out of the other earring. It's like the missing pearl.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you found it. I had a pearl fall out of a ring and it was a similar situation to this. And it would always fall out. So I don't even wear it anymore because I can't get it fixed. But you know what? An ex also gave that to me, so I don't need to wear it anymore.
Right? It's like, this has got to be a really nice pair of earrings. So I'm glad you were able to find and repair it.
I mean, also, let's normalize, fuck it. If an ex gave you really nice jewelry, you're allowed to still wear that or sell it, pawn it. I don't know.
I'm like, no, this is a gift from me, from past me to current me, from that, because past me received it and was like, girl, I broke up with this guy. Here, you can have them. So current me's like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you for these earrings. And thank you for all that you suffered to go through to get these earrings. I will cherish them now.
Yeah. And now we're taking it back. We're taking back the jewelry. Well, Charlie, you did a solid there. And I hope that whoever moved into that apartment next either also had just as much of a friendship with Charlie, or that Charlie was able to move on.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Jay. We're glad you got reunited, and wherever you're at, Charlie, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, bud.
This final one is from Emily, and she gives us speaking of pearls, this is a pearl of a subject line. Which billionaire's dick-shaped rocket fooled me now? Hello, ladies. I hope the ever-devolving hellscape we know as existence is being kind to you this week. I was driving home from Portland, Oregon to Reno, Nevada on June 18th around 1 a.m., somewhere on Highway 139 northbound. My dog just had 11 puppies on June 3rd, so I've spent the last 2 weeks helping my sweet mama Rodeo juggle her babies and getting all the cuddles. I'll attach pics for your viewing pleasure. Anyway, somewhere on the lonely highway, I had already seen 2 or 3 falling stars, so I was stargazing as much as I could through the windows of my little Ford Ranger. As I came out of an area with taller trees and into more of a field, I saw what appeared to be a long oval, like the shape of a popsicle, made of white lights, moving at a sideways angle away from me. Faster than a plane, but not so fast that I couldn't see it float out of view by twisting away from me as if it were rounding a corner in the empty sky. Like, I saw the front of it, and as it got further away, I could start to see the back as well. I wish I could describe it better. Now, I've been duped by Starlink, I've been teased by SpaceX failures, but this was different. Was it a weird blimp? What stupid billionaire's phallic fuck-up in the sky did I witness? I've attached a drawing of what I remember seeing. Obviously, Googling glowing popsicle stick UFO has gotten me nowhere. Help. Anyway, thanks for reading. Stay strong in these times of absolute batshittery and despair. You two are like a fun, creepy little lighthouse guiding us all through the dark seas to a moment of respite from the horrors of mankind. Live fast, eat ass, M. I love you so much already.
Oh, man, M. What bars? First of all, I agree. It's an absolute batshittery. And I just love the word hellscape. I think it really sums up a lot. Does. And whenever other people use it, as well as live fast, eat ass, we're automatic friends.
Hilarious. This is you saw a big dang old dick in the sky.
Yeah, I think you saw a light up dildo.
Big old ding dong in the sky. It's a big lit up ding dong dildo.
Oh man, but nothing compares to the cuteness of these puppies.
Oh, that's what's truly out of this world, that your dog had 11 over. That's
Look
double
at these
digits.
little puppy faces. Oh my gosh, they're like brand new. We'll share this on our socials. Look at their little fucking pink little paws and noses.
Pinching their little paws. I want to just rub my face on them puppies.
They're straight out the womb. Oh,
dude,
puppy tummies.
puppy booties, puppy tummies,
puppy everything.
Scratchies.
Laying on the thigh. Look how just so little. Oh my gosh. What kind of puppies are these? You have to let us know. They're so sweet.
Cute.
And you're sweet, Mama Rodeo. Man. Yeah. I had 2 and they were at different times. So I don't know about 11 all in a span of like an hour or so.
11 all at once. Well, I'm not sure what you saw in the sky, but anybody listening, if you have ever been on Highway 139, particularly, June 18th, the past week or 10 days or so, and you've seen, we'll post the drawing. Thank you, Em. This is my opinion. This is a good illustration.
Great drawing.
Yeah. Of what we'll let you know if anybody's seen something similar. Right in.
We absolutely will. I'm not trying to get a puppy right now, but if I was, these would be on the top three. I
could be convinced.
Puppies.
I could be convinced.
Oh my goodness.
As long as I bet that little, the goose would adopt them as her own.
Oh yeah.
She would have to have like a baby puppy and then she would train it up to be her protector.
And she's so tiny. She's going to have to get a really tiny puppy.
They'll be best friends forever. So
maybe you should do a hamster.
Yeah, I'll get her a hamster to play with. She'd love that. Oh, man. Well, thank you, Emily. And yeah, anybody listening, if you were on a long stretch of Highway 139 and you saw a big Billionaires dick rocket, let us know.
Let us
know.
That
was.
Whose it is. Oh, there's so many it could be. Well, thank you, Emily, and thank you to everyone who sent in your Freaky Friday stories. If you have an odd but true story, maybe you've encountered Bigfoot, you've seen a UFO, you had a brush with true crime, or you felt the presence of an otherworldly being, send them in at sinisterhood.com/Freaky Friday. Speaking of freaky, if you got something creepy caught on camera, found a weird or unexplainable clip online, maybe you just have a funny video you want us to see, send it our way and we'll live react to it during Sunday Scaries, our weekly live stream over on Patreon every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. It's totally free. You just put in your email. You get access to the raw and uncut Sunday Scaries, because once we put it on YouTube, they send us a bunch of emails saying, well, you can't have this video up. You can't have that video up. So Paris has to remove so many. So if you want to see all of them and all the fur babies in the chat, then do it on Patreon.
Yeah, and you get to interact with us live in real time if you are there when we record it live. So we'd love to hang out. And as we all navigate this hellscape, Emily, I'm going to steal your when you said, I hope the devolving hellscape is that we know as existence is being kind this week. So as we navigate the devolving hellscape as we know as existence, it's better to do it together.
Absolutely. Yeah. And by just entering your email in to become a free member, you get a bunch of other free perks too. Bonus content sent to you once a month. There's a whole backlog of free things we've done over the past, what are we at? 4, 5, 2018? What year is this?
2019. Yeah,
7.
We're getting there. We opened the Patreon in like March of 2019, so early on.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, the show started in May of 2018, and then, about a year later was Patreon. So, but there's a lot of stuff, and it's totally free, and it's super fun. It's a fun way to end your weekend and to start your week.
Absolutely. I was like, God damn, 2019 was so long ago.
So long ago. I was like, that was 7 years. Because I have to go to 2020, and then I'm like, okay, that's 5 years. And then everything before that is the before time. Yeah. So
BC, literally, before
we
COVID.
Forget it.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see y'all on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you like our free episodes, you'll love our Patreon bonus content. Like we said, you can join for free just to see what we're up to next, or you can join at a tier and get over 1,000 hours of bonus content like Judge Christie, where I rule on petty grievances you bring before the court, True Crime Headlines, where we break down the latest news and updates in true crime, Heather Saves, where anything Heather has found late night scrolling could be discussed, and Am I the Asshole? Unpopular opinions and other subreddits that we feel require our input. We just had a True Crime Headlines update with all sorts of updates dropped.
Jam-packed.
So, oh man, there was, what do we have? JP Miller, Brian Koberger,
We had updates. The Golden State Killer movie is coming out soon.
Yeah.
Ellen Greenberg is featured in People magazine.
Yeah.
A lot to catch up on there. Absolutely. And also, if you want to be a part of a Patreon segment, go to sinisterhood.com/contact. And there's a button that says submit a Patreon segment. And that is how you bring your grievances before the court. So you can hear the Honorable Judge Christie rule on your petty grievances. And if you're lucky, bang that gavel for you, baby. But also send us your unpopular opinions, personal and on the asshole issues. If you have a true crime headlines you want us to cover,
send us your personal asshole issues.
Your personal.
We're not doctors, but we'll try and help.
I'm like, I should not have let them attach pictures. This has gone wrong. But go to sinisterhood.com/contact and click on submit a Patreon segment so you can be a part of one of our upcoming segments, because you make the world turn. We also offer free trials if you're not sure what the hell we're talking about. Go on there, join for free for a week at any of the tiers, the highest tier if you want, and check out all the perks like a kid in a candy store. Go nuts, download, listen, whatever, and you can cancel anytime before the trial is over without getting charged. If you stick around, an annual membership gets you 1 month free. And also, what perks might you get?
Ad-free episodes, monthly live stream Q&As on the third Thursday of every month, quarterly live bonus content we let you all vote on to see what segment you want us to do live, weekly audio bonus content, mini-sodes, merch discounts, and community of the best listeners on the whole internet.
Hundo P. I'll fight anybody who argues. Head over to sinisterhood.com and click shop on the top banner to check out Sinisterhood merch like t-shirts, mugs, totes, stickers, even clothes for your kiddos.
While you're on our website, you can also review the show. We love 5-star ones. You can submit topics and cases you'd like us to cover. You can submit all your stories for Freaky Friday and Sunday Scaries. Plus, you'll find fun things like topic-based playlists. So if you've got a friend that only likes true crime, we've got you. Only likes paranormal, only likes cryptids, we have got you. It's so easy to send them stuff. And also, send them that Crime Wave at Sea 2025 link, and you and your bestie can set sail with us November 3rd through 7th in the Bahamas, baby.
Hell yeah. I was just one of my influencer people that I follow was on a cruise, and I was like following along going like, okay, I want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to do I'm like pre-planning. I think I'm getting on Cruise Talk. So
nice.
We're going to go, we'll try to go live from the Lido deck.
Oh yeah. If we can go live, we're going live for sure.
100%. So that's the plan. But if you want to be there live and in person and give us a high five, go to crimewaveatsea.com/sinister. You can follow us on Instagram and Threads at Sinisterhood Pod. Like us on Facebook at Sinisterhood. Follow us on YouTube and TikTok at Sinisterhood Podcast to watch clips from the episodes, live streams, and more. And if you're looking for a unique and personal gift for the Sinisterhood fan in your life, or you want to treat yourself to a pep talk or some advice or something like that, we'd love to do it. Book a cameo now, from happy birthday to birth announcements to congratulations on whatever. We will love to create a customized video that's going to be immediately viewed and sent by you. It's a thoughtful gift. It's a custom gift, so you know they don't already have it. And it's a gift you can order while lying on your back in a beach chair, lying on your couch, curled up in the air conditioning, whatever you're doing. You can do it right from the comfort of your device at cameo.com/sinisterhood. Where are you at on the computer?
I'm on Instagram and Threads at Christy M. Wallace and TikTok at Christy or GTFO. Heather?
Posting pictures of my asshole issues everywhere at Heather versus the world.
As always, the devil rules the airwaves.
Keep it creepy. It's a guinea pig tap dance. The guinea pig tap dance. Bring on your shoes. Come on down to the loudest floor in the world. Guinea pig tap dance.
That is where they perform daily.